This week, I want to talk about how to meal prep on a budget. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, before I show you what we're eating this week for meals 2 through 6, let's talk about protein. Okay, so the first thing that is the most budget friendly are eggs. Eggs are pretty inexpensive. You can get an 18 pack of eggs for probably $1.39. So eggs are a great way to get your protein in. Egg whites, the whole egg, whatever you're comfortable eating. And do it relatively inexpensively. So that'd be the first thing that I would suggest that you eat a fair amount of. I typically have anywhere from 6 to 12 eggs every day because they are budget friendly, to be quite honest. The second thing that I would recommend is looking into protein powder. I will say that I get most of my nutrients from Whole Foods. I usually only have one protein shake per day. On a rare occasion, I'll have two. So the reason people drink protein shakes, it's twofold, I think. The first is it's budget friendly. So per serving cost is much less expensive than buying any meat that you're going to buy in the grocery store. And the other thing is convenience, right? So we don't always have the time during our work day or right after our workout to eat a meal. So having a protein shake is a great way to get your nutrients in, get your protein in, and sometimes some carbs and fat without having to stop, microwave a meal, or put a meal together. So definitely protein is a great way to be budget friendly. Then shop your flyers. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that next while I take you through the meals that I'm eating this week. But definitely shop your flyers. Chicken per pound is going to be much less expensive, of course, than any kind of fish, even if you're buying it frozen or you're buying it from a big box store. So I tend to eat a lot of chicken. I also find that ground turkey is relatively cost effective. So that's another item that I eat on a regular basis. And then I'll go into fish. I eat predominantly white fish, and that's mostly because it's leaner. I do on occasion have salmon or, tuna or sword, but it's few and far between in comparison to the amount of tilapia, haddock, or cod that I eat. And that's simply because those items have 1 to 2 grams of fat per serving, whereas, those other fish are going to have a lot more. So that's kind of my pyramid of what I will eat. So egg whites, protein, chicken, ground turkey, and then into the fish because that tends to be more expensive. So now let's talk about what I'm eating this week, and I'll share some tidbits about how I save money when I'm shopping for my meals.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my kitchen. So this week, while I take you through my meal prep, meals 2 through 6, I would also like to take a couple of moments to talk to you about how I basically meet my budget. It's not cheap eating healthy. It's actually more expensive to eat healthy than it is to eat junk food, shockingly. So we've got to make sure that we plan ahead. One of the things that I do is I get flyers mailed to me at my home. I'm sure you do as well. I'm lucky where I live. I have 3 major supermarkets within 5 miles of my townhouse. So I can look at the ad and I can actually cherry pick different items. So be aware of, your local competitors. Maybe you've got a grocery store, a traditional grocery store. Maybe you have a big box store like a Sam's Club or a BJ's that you can take a look at. And then don't rule out places like, Super Walmart. Sometimes they're good for, frozen veggies or things. They might have a good deal here and there. So always review your ads. Take a look at where the great deals are. Make sure you're, aware of what the going price is for things. All right, so let's start talking about what we're eating this week. Meal 2 this week, which is my post-workout meal. What I have in this container is they have these steamable bags of brown rice that I grabbed out of the freezer, and I do that because, in all honesty, I am completely incapable of cooking rice. Like the bag of rice that your mom buys and no big deal, she can cook it. I cannot cook it, it doesn't matter. I've tried umpteen million times, it always comes out crunchy. So I'm doing something consistently wrong every time. So this is what I do. Or I will get the minute rice because that also works. The reason why I like this one is because it's already cooked. I don't even have to steam it. I actually weigh it in here. Well, I let it defrost on the counter and I weigh it in here based on the grams here. So 1 cup is a serving. It's 136 grams cooked. When you buy minute rice, it's telling you the dry weight, and then you're putting that all in there, and that's giving you, maybe you're making 5 or 6 servings at once like I do. So then when you go to scoop it out, you're still kind of guesstimating, right? You're trying to evenly guesstimate. Okay, it's supposed to be a cup, but as we know, 1 cup measured is different than 1 cup weighed in grams. So I love this because I can hit the grams. It's quick and easy. Also a good deal. These were 2 for $3, so awesome. No problem. So there's brown rice in there. I also have in there, great money saver, frozen veggies. Frozen veggies don't have additives. They don't have a bunch of sauces and stuff. Like a canned veggie is going to have a bunch of sodium added into it. So frozen veggies are a great way for you to meal prep efficiently and also inexpensively. So this actually had 5 servings in it, so I only need 1 bag of chopped broccoli. So there's a serving of chopped broccoli in each of these as well. And then I also have in there 1 Laughing Cow cheese wedge. This one is light creamy Swiss. So 1 wedge is only 35 calories, a great way to add a little flavor. So when I microwave this and I mix around that broccoli, rice, and cheese, it's gonna make a nice, cheesy, delicious side to go along with the 6 ounces of tilapia that I've got served on top. I put a little bit of lobster pound seafood seasoning on this tilapia and I baked it up. Now I have 6 ounces of tilapia in here instead of my traditional 4 ounces of chicken because tilapia has less grams per ounce. So I want to hit a certain amount of grams of protein by the end of the day. So I need 6 grams in this portion to do that. So that is meal 2, my post-workout meal. Also, tilapia was on sale, so that's why I actually bought that white fish. I have found in the past Sam's Club, great place to buy frozen bags of plain salmon and frozen bags of plain tilapia that you can just defrost and go. I think they're 5-pound bags. Awesome deal, way less expensive than buying it per pound in the seafood department like I did this week. But this was on sale, like I said, so it wasn't too bad. My next meal this week, so where I'm in my off season, I'm making sure I get at least 1 high-fat meat meal. So that might be a salmon, that might be a leaner ground beef, that might be a ground buffalo. And what I'm doing this week is shredded rotisserie chicken. I was actually walking by the deli and I wasn't even planning on buying rotisserie chicken, but I was going by and they had cold ones. They must have overproduced. They had a whole bunch of cold ones that were on sale for $4.49 a pound when they're typically, I think, $6.49 or $6.99 a pound. So it was already a couple bucks off. And a whole bunch of them were stickered with 80 cents off coupons. So I was like, whoo, jackpot. So I grabbed 3 of those, and these are all 4-ounce portions for this week. And then the rest of them that I portioned out are in my freezer. I usually try to use it in the next 2 or 3 weeks. That's my goal. So we'll have shredded rotisserie chicken with some beet hummus. So this is actually Eat Well brand beet hummus. If you don't like hummus because you find it to be kind of bland, this might be one that you could try and like because it actually has a nice little sweet flavor. It doesn't taste like strongly of beets if you don't like beets, but it's like a sweet hummus. And I'm just gonna put it in a low carb wrap. Hummus is a great alternative. This hummus is only 50 calories for a serving. This is 2 tablespoons. And if you're somebody that traditionally would use mayonnaise is 90 calories and like 10 grams of fat. So this is 50 calories, so it's almost half the calories, and it's only 2.5 grams of fat. So it's much healthier. It gives you something with a little different flavor. Hummus comes in all different flavors, so if you haven't tried it, give it a go. See how you like it. Next meal, this meal I actually have a fresh veggie in, although I do as many frozen as I can. I've got 150 grams of zucchini in here, and I used my vegetable noodler to make it into noodles, so it's a nice heap of zucchini noodles. They are raw. I find that if I leave them raw, they'll make it till the end of the week. If I cook them by the last day or 2, I'm eating slimy, or I don't want to eat it because it's slimy, like they started to go bad. So my trick, if it's raw zucchini, I don't cook it. I allow the 90 seconds to 2 minutes in the microwave to steam it. On top of this, I actually have 4 ounces of cooked shrimp. And then I have 4 tablespoons, which is 2 servings of a fresh deli salsa. I think it actually says on it, so I use this one. It's a store brand one. pico de gallo is what it says on it, but it's just like a chunky salsa. So it's tomatoes, onions, some herbs in there, and it's only 5 calories per 2 tablespoons. So it's a great alternative to using a pasta sauce, which is gonna have more sugars in it typically, and a lot more calories. I like to reserve as many calories for peanut butter and for like almonds and cashews to eat the rest of my fat, healthy fat, usually at breakfast time. So it's a simple meal and it's nice and healthy. It doesn't have a bunch of sauces and salt in it. So great one there. So the reason I went to the supermarket I went to this week is because they had the boneless chicken breast family packs on sale for really inexpensive. It was $1.69 per pound, which is great. Usually it's like $2.49 a pound or more. So I got a family pack, even though for my last 2 meals I didn't need 5 pounds. I got a 5-pound pack. So I've got 4 ounces of boneless chicken breast weighed out here, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put that into an iceberg lettuce boat. So how I did this is I just smashed my iceberg lettuce on the counter and ripped the core out, and then I cut that head into 4. And then you peel off like a good 8 leaves from each quarter, and you get little boats out of it. So I'll probably split this and make it into 2 boats, put my chicken in it, and then give it a nice squeeze of some flavored mustard, either a honey mustard or a garlic and herb mustard, and that will be my meal 5. So something a little different there. Now the rest of that chicken, you can see it's behind me on the counter. I will be portioning it into 4-ounce portions and putting it in my freezer. And again, I'll use that in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm not wasting. I actually ended up just buying ahead, and because things were on such great deals this week, I didn't actually spend any more than I typically would in a week, ironically. Okay, my final meal, I don't have the chicken out here because I didn't weigh it up yet, but it will be 4 ounces of that boneless breast, and I'm going to warm it up before I put it on a nice big mound of spring mix. So probably like 3 cups of spring mix. I've got avocado, so what I'll do is I'll do 30 grams of avocado to get some healthy fats on there. I'll throw 5 or 6 grape tomatoes on. And then I'll peel and I'll slice up about a cup of cucumber to put on there, and that'll be my meal right before I go to bed around 9 p.m. So I get my vegetables, some more fiber in there with my healthy food. So Sam's Club, another thing I like to get there, so this week I got the boneless breast and I had to take the time to pound it out flat so it would cook evenly. Sam's Club typically has the chicken tenders that are already pretty even in like their thickness. So all you gotta do is slap them out onto your pan, sprinkle them with some kind of seasoning, and you're good to go. So if you get the boneless breast, just plan on taking the time to pound the chicken out so it will cook evenly for you. You don't end up with some pieces raw and some overdone. Keep your eyes on the ad. That's really the key. Super Walmart and Sam's Club both have 4 and 5 pound bags of frozen veggies. So I will go and stock up on like fine green beans, chopped broccoli, and mixed vegetables that are available at those locations when I have room in my freezer, just so I have something green that's relatively high in fiber that I can put into my meals. And it's really cost effective. So don't think that because you're on like a strict budget that you can't eat healthy. There's plenty of ways around that. And if you have specific questions around, items that you like to buy but you can't find them for a deal, leave me a question down below and I'll get back to you, or I'll research it and perhaps I'll do another video on it. Don't forget, I also have a protein shake every single day immediately after my workout. So BPI Sports, Team BPI, I love them. I've really been loving the Snickerdoodle. It's the seasonal flavor that we just came out with. It's great. Of course, my cabinet is full. I probably have 5 or 6 flavors, so I'll switch them out. I have BCAAs every single day during my workout, and I usually don't work out without a pre-workout, so I gotta have my caffeine before I hit the gym. So I'll do that, and then of course I take supplements because eating a lot of the similar things day after day, week after week, I want to make sure that my body is getting any of the nutrients or vitamins and minerals that I might be missing in my whole foods. So I do take a fair amount of vitamins, and I actually have a separate YouTube video on what I take for supplements, so check that out and then you'll see my regimen, what I take. Thanks for watching, guys.
Okay, so a quick recap now when it comes to veggies. I shopped the ad every single week. So I will take a look and see what's on sale for fresh vegetables, because that would be my number one preference, as they have no additives. My next preference is frozen vegetables, and I did talk a bit about the fact that I like to buy the big 4 and 5 pound frozen bags either at Sam's Club or at the Super Walmart. You can get those giant bags for under $5 of broccoli, green beans, mixed veggies. It's great, it's cost effective, and it's actually a huge time saver because they've already been blanched, so they're par cooked. You don't have to do anything to them, just portion them out into your Tupperware. I definitely always stay away from canned veggies. Canned veggies are going to have additives, specifically a lot of sodium typically. So I don't ever buy canned veggies. I stay away from that. So I hope these tips helped you. Let me know what other questions you have. Thanks for watching.